You bring everyone together to get them on the same page and let them know that this case will revolve around one person, Jeff Metcalf, the father. So when Karmelo's mother heard what Jeff said about her son, what do you think that this lady did? She handed the microphone at a press conference to the baby shaking minister of justice.
Damn.
At that press conference where Jeff Metcalf showed up to pray with the family, the baby shaking minister called the police and had Jeff kicked out.
This video right here from the lead attorney was 11 months ago, way before the Karmelo Anthony trial even started. An attorney with over 20 years of experience sat down and basically predicted step by step exactly how this Karmelo Anthony case was going to unfold, and boy was he spot on. We gotta break it down, we gotta react to it right here, right now. Let's get into it. What's good, Champ Talk family? For those of y'all just tuning in, Karmelo Anthony was convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf at the Frisco track meet back in 2025. This past week, the jury came back after only 3 hours of deliberation, and he was guilty of murder. Sentencing was just a few hours later, and guess what? They gave him 35 years. And his team has already taken steps to start the appeal process. Now, here is why this old video matters. The lead attorney broke this down almost to a T. How the family's handling of this case, the spokesperson that they chose right from the jump, the way Karmelo Anthony's family responded to Austin Metcalf's father. He said that all of that was going to cost Karmelo Anthony more years, not the facts from the case, but the optics. We're here to talk about it. I need y'all to drop down and hit that like button for me, and then I need you to go ahead and hit the hype button for me. Without further ado, lead attorney, it's right back on you, so let's get it.
Many of you were surprised at a point that I made in my last video on how Karmelo Anthony's family has actually costed Karmelo extra years in prison. So many extra years. You wanted me to expound on that further because you had not heard anyone make that point. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm giving you the perspective, not of a YouTuber reacting to news, but of an attorney who's practiced for more than 20 years. This is behind the scenes info, so let's get to it. Now, let me explain on how Karmelo's mother basically sentenced her own son Karmelo to an extra 10 to 30 more years in prison and what she can do about it now to try to fix it. I explained in my last video that Karmelo's mother apparently hired a family spokesperson, one Dominique Alexander. This Dominique calls himself a minister of justice, whatever that is. Dominique is a convicted felon. He's alleged to have beaten his girlfriend. Then he got a new girlfriend, and when that girlfriend left out of the apartment, the good minister grabbed that woman's 2-year-old baby and shook him until that baby got brain damage. The good minister pled guilty in that case to felony charges and was in prison. Now, this is the man that Karmelo's mom chose to speak on Karmelo and the family's behalf. The good baby shaking minister. The minister did exactly what you would expect a convicted felon to do when handling Karmelo's case. He absolutely destroyed it. How? He ostracized the most important person in Karmelo's case. Now, who is that? Is that the judge? No. Is that the prosecutor? No. The most important person alive in Karmelo's case is actually Jeff Metcalf, the father of the young man that Karmelo Anthony killed, Austin Metcalf.
I know that some of y'all in the comments are gonna be like, did you see that racist ass video that Jeff Metcalf dropped last week calling Karmelo Anthony a watermelon felon and talking bad about the family? For sure, I seen the same video, but you guys have to remember right now that this video is from 11 months ago, before all that. So you have to put yourself back in that moment, back in that mindset before any of the trial happened, before the verdict. And I'm with the lead on this one. Why the hell would you hire somebody like this, a person with this type of background, to be the spokesperson for a case like this?
The father, Jeff Metcalf, is the linchpin to Karmelo's entire future. Let me tell you that in a murder case where the victim is gone, the case lives on through the victim's next of kin. When a parent has to bury his child, everyone looks to that parent to gauge how to react. Judges consciously and subconsciously look at the parent's facial expression when they're testifying on the witness stand. Prosecutors run all their plea offers through the parents. Reporters knock on the parents' doors for statements, and they aim their cameras at the parents when the verdicts drop. And the jurors, oh my goodness, the jurors hang on every word of the parents, notice every little movement, every gesture. In this case, Jeff Metcalf, the father, is not just a spectator in the case, he's the conscience of the entire community. If you win Jeff, you win all the sympathy. But if you alienate him, you can go to prison for life. Dang. Now, months ago, Jeff Metcalf, the father, he did something unthinkable. Reporters, as they always do, shoved a microphone in this grieving father's face and asked him, "How do you feel about this Karmelo Anthony?" Do you know what he said? Jeff Metcalf said, and I quote, "You know what? I've already forgiven this person. Already." Now, that is amazing. It's amazing that Jeff would have the strength to do that, because I would be incapable of that. The maturity, the wisdom, the strength, I just would not have it. Now, that baby shaking minister is not going to know this, but when a father makes a statement like that, a statement of forgiveness, the entire Karmelo team has to drop everything. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Your entire legal strategy has to change.
Damn, leaders, like at this moment, it should have been an audible on the play. Listen, we just got a layup. We have to switch the strategy. We have to be able to adjust on the fly. We see what we just got here. He came out and said that he forgives the family. It's time to shift the focus.
I can tell you as an attorney that you call an emergency meeting with all the lawyers, all the family, maybe PR consultants if the family has means for that. You bring everyone together to get them on the same page and let them know that this case will revolve around one person, Jeff Metcalf, the father. So when Karmelo's mother heard what Jeff said about her son, what do you think that this lady did? She handed the microphone at a press conference to the baby shaking minister of justice. And at that press conference where Jeff Metcalf showed up to pray with the family, the baby shaking minister called the police and had Jeff kicked out. Like, can you believe it? They kicked Jeff Metcalf, who FK with the family. At that press conference where Jeff Metcalf showed up to pray with the family, the baby shaking minister called the police and had Jeff kicked out. Like, can you believe it? They kicked Jeff Metcalf, who came there to pray. They kicked him out of the press conference.
This might be the moment where Karmelo Anthony's sentence just went up from 10 to 25 years extra on whatever they were going to give him. The lead attorney already put it out there. This case was not going to come down to just the facts. It was also going to come down to the optics. On one end, you have Jeff Metcalf publicly forgiving you, showing up to pray with the family, and you guys call the police on him and have him removed. And in the court of public opinion, you can chalk that up to another strike against the family.
The entire spectacle went viral within an hour. Do you know what else? Karmelo Anthony's prison sentence was prolonged by 10 to 25 years within that same hour. Now, why do I say that? What did the family show Jeff in that instance? Jeff, the father. They showed Jeff that there was no remorse. They showed Jeff that there would be no mutual prayers. There would be no reconciliation. Showed that man nothing but hostility and aggression. The same hostility, the same aggression maybe that was at that track meet that fateful afternoon, that was under that tent. Some of you are not going to appreciate how important this father is. You just don't know how these criminal sentences work. I see your comments on YouTube and Twitter. You think, oh, this person killed that person, so put the killer in prison and throw away the key. Put him there for life.
Right.
That's what you guys say. You have no idea. I will tell you that people kill people all the time, and the sentences range from insanity on the low end to insanity on the high end. Now, who controls where the sentence is going to fall? At the end of the day, it is the sentiment of the community that will decide. And in this case, Jeff Metcalf is at the center of that entire community.
Hey, that's a lot to think about so far, man. At this moment, what I need y'all to do, if you still rocking, you still here, I need you to go ahead and hit that like button. I need you to go ahead and hit the hype button. And I need you to drop a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think about this video so far. Do you think the lead attorney called this right? And do you think if they saw this video that the lead attorney posted almost a year ago, that maybe they would have changed their strategy and the outcome could have been different?
Now, let's do this. Let's suppose it is your first day of law school and I am your criminal law professor. I'm going to tell you some quick facts, and you tell me the sentence that you would give in this scenario if you were the jury, if you were the judge. But first, and this is important, put right now for the record what you think Karmelo should be sentenced to in the comments. Put it below.
Now, we already know the verdict because it came down last week, but leading up to the trial, I didn't think he was going to get convicted of murder, so I thought it was going to be manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter, and he will get around 10 years.
Now, here is the quiz. I want everybody to take it. Here's the first case, 4 cases. A 16-year-old in Texas, basically the same age and state of Karmelo. He gets hammered, consuming alcohol, consuming drugs. He does the whole thing. He gets behind the wheel of a vehicle. Of course, he gets into an accident. Now, here's the thing. He kills 4 people. He intentionally gets hammered and gets cooked, and then he takes 4 lives. Now, little law student of mine, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to determine how many years in prison you would give him. Ready? Go. And while you are considering your sentence, just know that in this case, the Affluenza case, if you're old enough to remember, this young man, he took 4 lives. But how many years did the judge give him? Well, the judge gave him 10 years for taking 4 lives. 10 years. But here's the kicker. It wasn't 10 years of prison. The judge gave him 10 years of straight probation. This man took 4 lives and got a straight probationary sentence, not 1 day in prison.
17 years old, drinking underage, gets behind the wheel, takes 4 lives in a crash, and gets 10 years probation in the same state of Texas. Let that sink in, y'all.
Did you guess it? Did you guess 0 years?
Nah.
Now, here is the second of 4 scenarios. A football player gets hammered just the same. He gets into his Bentley. He's an NFL player and starts speeding. Of course, he runs over a guy, kills him dead. How many years in prison did this NFL player get for the killing? Now, the victim is gone forever. You got 5 seconds to guess. How many years? And while you are considering how many years, all you football fans know that Mike Vick, the quarterback of the great Atlanta Falcons, got 2 years in prison for dog fighting. That's 2 years in prison for dogs. How many years did this NFL player get for actually killing a man? That's right. Dante Stallworth gets hammered, gets in his car, and kills a man in the street. He gets 30 days in the county jail. No prison at all. Just 30 days in jail. Mike Vick gets 2 years in prison for dogs. Now, my little law student, you ask, well, how can that be? What happened in that case? Well, I'll tell you. Dante Stallworth showed extreme remorse. He apologized. And most importantly, he reached a financial settlement with the family. Dante went into his pocket and got the family on his side. Now, let me ask you, did Karmelo Anthony's family do that? Dante slid the victim's family some money. Karmelo Anthony's family got over $500,000. Did Karmelo's mom do any of that? Did the mom even offer to pay for the funeral?
That's a good point right there. I didn't even think about that. And I'm sure a lot of people probably wouldn't have in this situation. Not just the aspect of showing remorse, but also reaching out to the family to say, hey, this is something that neither one of us expected. At least allow us a chance to help with the funeral arrangement.
Guys, I'm going to tell you, you do not know there are so many levels to criminal law. Now, let's get back to this Karmelo Anthony dumpster fire. A guy gets mad at his wife, and rightly so. He thinks that she's cheating on him. He goes and loads up his shotgun. He goes outside where she's standing. Now, she's unarmed, and she's recording him on her phone. He cocks the shotgun and points it directly at her teeth. He says, all right, goodbye. You are going to meet Jesus. And then he blows her away. She was unarmed and in Texas. Do you know who else was unarmed? Do you know who else was in Texas? That's right. Anthony Metcalf, Karmelo's victim. Now, the jury in the case with the husband gave that man just 10 years in prison. And he is eligible for parole after only 5 years. Think about it. 5 years in prison for a straight up killing. I am positive that every single one of you would have said, lock him up for life, lock him up forever. She's a woman. She was unarmed. She didn't even hit him. And he only got 10 years with maybe 5 years to serve. Now you ask, well, Professor Lead, why so little time? Well, the defense team in that case did a great job of humanizing the husband, humanizing the killer, and getting the jury on his side. The jury didn't hate the killer. In Karmelo's case, do you think the jury would hate Karmelo if Austin's father, Jeff, pleaded with the jury for mercy, pleaded with the jury for grace, is seen praying and reconciling and crying with the Karmelo family? Everyone in that courtroom would be crying, listening to Jeff's victim impact statement. The judge would be crying. The bailiffs would be crying. The attorneys would be crying. The jury, believe me, everyone in that courthouse would have their eyes full of tears. At the end of the day, we are all human. Karmelo would have been spared. He would have not gotten a lot of time. You can absolutely get a judge and jury on your side. You just have to know how to do it.
Damn, that's a version of this case that never had a chance to exist from the beginning. First, you hired the baby shaking minister, y'all called the police on Jeff Metcalf, and by the end of the trial, Karmelo's mother is the one on the stand pleading for grace, pleading for leniency, pleading for understanding so her son Karmelo does not get sentenced so harshly. But just imagine if that was one of the Metcalf family members up there pleading for mercy, pleading for leniency, pleading for grace for Karmelo. The outcome could have turned out way different.
Now, and this is the last case, and this is for all of my A students. Let's go back to the vehicular homicide cases. You think that you can get off easy by killing somebody with your car, remember? Remember when you thought, oh, well, it's because the guy who killed 4 people was driving. That's why he got 0 years in prison. Okay, that guy killed 4 people. What about a guy that killed 6 people in his car at a parade? You got 5 seconds to consider how many years this guy would get for killing 6 people. If the first guy got 0 years in prison for killing 4 people, how many years in prison did this guy get for killing 6 people? All right, you got your answer? Don't you know that this guy got 1,000 years? 1,000. They calculated it out to like 1,067 years. He got 6 life sentences and an additional 760 years for the people that he hurt with his car. Now, how do you go from 0 to 1,000? Well, this guy got every single person in the community to hate him. Darrell Brooks never apologized to any of the family members and was hostile to everyone in the courthouse during its court case. The judge ended up blasting him. So now, my law student, you can see the importance of getting the families, getting the community on your side. It could be the difference between 0 years and 1,000 years. Is the Karmelo family doing that? Is the Karmelo family getting the Austin Metcalf family on their side by kicking out Austin's father at the press conference? It's insanity how they are handling the Karmelo case, and Karmelo will pay the price.
As much as I hate to say it, the lead attorney was absolutely right. This man right here knows what the hell he's doing, what the hell he's talking about. I guess that's why they call him the lead attorney. 11 months later, we actually got our answer. 35 years, man. Yes, the appeal was filed. Yes, Jeff Metcalf came out with a video that was racist and all of that after the fact. But guess what? Before we even got to that point, if Karmelo's family would have handled things differently, then maybe the outcome would have been different. Let's go ahead and head to the big screen and let's get ready to get up out of here because I have to see what y'all think about this video. Man, at the end of the day, two families lost something here, man. Austin Metcalf is gone, and Karmelo Anthony might spend decades behind bars. And we all know there's so much speculation going on. The defense set him up. The racial element that could have impacted the sentencing or the way the jury seen the defendant. You got people like Charleston White saying, support this family. We need everybody to get behind him. This kid was trying to protect himself. It resulted in the loss of someone's life, but this is a clear case of self-defense. Then just a few short days later, like, forget the family, don't support him, and I'm taking my money with me. Then you have people out here backing up Jeff Metcalf saying, hey, it's no wonder he's coming out after the case is over, making racist remarks or not rocking with Karmelo Anthony's family. But at the end of the day, the lead attorney just broke it all down, just showed us exactly how this could have went if Karmelo's family would have taken different steps to get the community on their side. Let me know exactly what y'all think about that. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. Don't forget to hype. Don't forget to like the video. We about to get up out of here. Once again, this is Champ Talk Reactions. We throw the peace sign up. We turn it sideways. I'ma holler at y'all on the next video. Peace.